A funny thing rings so sadly true, the Latin origin of republican. When Roman leaders kicked out the king, they established something called a republic. Why did they call it a republic? Because the new government was limited to rich adults. The Latin word for rich is res, as in real estate, rex, and regina. The Latin for adult is pubes, reflecting how one became an adult at puberty. The word public meant in Rome a gathering of people who had gone through puberty. Makes sense. This is why the framing fathers in 1787 wrote a constitution for a republic, because voting rights were limited to rich adults, that is, res pubers. Rich pubes or pubers is a better term for today's Republicans. Disgusting words for disgusting people. They act like rich little kids going through puberty with money they did not earn. Given the legal thievery enacted by corrupt habitual politicians, rich pubes increasingly have not earned their wealth based on the worth of the problems they solve. Today's res pubers stain the legacy of the first Republican president. What a bizarre falsehood to use conservative to label the great emancipator or liberator. The slave masters were the conservatives. Conservatives, especially rich pubes, lie for one simple reason. If you can steal another man's work, worth, and wealth, you have no problem lying about it. Today, Lincoln would not join the res pubers, nor would the rich pubes ever nominate a Lincoln. Republicans, the racist party after the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Lincoln sought to save the Union, with freeing the slaves being secondary and conditional. Rich pubes want to marginalize and nullify chocolate people, especially the first over-tanned president. Definitely not the party of Lincoln. It is important to note that the Republican Party was never the party of Lincoln, but rather Lincoln was a tool of the rich pubes in the North. Rapidly after the Civil War, the civilizing effect of Lincoln disappeared in the rush to reap the spoils of war. The era of the robber barons and origin of lobbyists was in the Republican administration of President Grant. But for Teddy Roosevelt, who was a heartbeat president the first time, the rich pubes have always been about capitalism for a few. That is, phony capitalism, or decapitalism. Legal thieves who hijack the terms and tools of capitalism. The decision by the conservative U.S. Supreme Court to let money flow freely from the rich into election res puber campaigns is an example of government of the rich, by the rich, and for the rich. Money or currency is the blood of an economic body. When it is allowed to circulate only among rich paper players, it is like blood circulating only between the heart and lungs. Congestive heart failures occurs. The economy dies. The Democrats may not be good lifeguards, but at least they have not drowned us in a flood of financial disasters. The Democrats may be incompetent good Samaritans, but they are not the pups holding the bloody knives. America's middle class is like the blind man meeting an elephant. The man at the trunk says an elephant is a snake. The leg grabber says it is a tree. The blind man on the side says it is a wall. The tail grabber is drenched in a deluge of deep doo-doo, prompting him to yell out, "You are all wrong. We have been here before. An elephant is a Republican." If there is a public face or poster boy for rich pubes, it is More Money Romney. Like all rich pubers, he cites his moments of personal humanity to a few individuals to obscure his public inhumanity to the silent majority. Some satire his hypocrisy as the Etch-a-Sketch candidate. I say, a perpetual, pathological, prevaricating Pinocchio, obsessed with money. If Democrat candidates, organizations, and super PACs don't email and advertise the literal and historical origin of republic to which pubes are adhering, they not only deserve to lose the election, but prompt the question, why not?